Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. So today is riding with a false leg or prosthesis. Something I've had to get used to since I was 15. So I was actually born with a leg what didn't work anyway. I was born without a hip, a welded knee and a club foot. So things come to head with my leg when I was 15. I had a partial amputation then an amputation higher up when I was 20. So this is things what can be a little bit frustrating, and please leave the comment for anybody else what got a false leg or a false limb, and just to get this discussion going. But this is my way of on how things works on a bike, and how I think it works with somebody who's maybe in an accident and lost a limb through accidents on their lower, and so say lower leg amputation to a higher leg amputation, the workings of them on the bike. So for me it's always been awkward, even when I was a kid, on my cousin's bikes, on the back of them, trying to get to the pegs with a stiff knee. It never used to work. It'd come off, it hit the floor, do damage to me my shoes, my feet, which never healed because there was no blood supply, and it just went on like it. Then in 89 rather, 89 I had me foot amputated just above the ankle. So again I had the stiff knee, but anybody what would have had a normal leg, it would have been a little bit of issue, but not so much. For the clutch it may have been to change gears, because you'd have had to, rather than use your foot up and down like that, you'd have had to donk it, really smash it with your leg foot to get it everything going. It's for your shifter, so to get it into gear. So that was, but for me that was still the problem. Being on the back of bikes, like I've said before, I come from a family where they've all had bikes. I've been on them all my life, so it was a natural thing for me to just want to be on them all the time. So I can see where frustrations start with people that have come off bikes, had amputations, and just not being able to get on them, back on them, either as quickly as they wanted to, or maybe not at all. So, but yeah, it was always an issue. The leg never healed if I'd done any damage to it. The vibrations would make my leg rub my knee, and it just drilled through because I had no feeling there. And it was just painful all the time being on a bike, but it was just trying to get my leg on the pegs where I was safe, and my balance as well, because my balance is off. So, but for somebody who was born able-bodied, you've still got what I've never had, is the grip. You could still use it. If you've had it, you could still clamp petrol tank. If I could have been in front at that point, I still couldn't have done it because I've got no hip, so I've got no way of pushing everything together. So that was one of the issues for me, which is the issue somebody would have with above knee amputation. They wouldn't be able to use their leg anymore to do the shifting and trying to clamp. They've got, they can use their thighs still, depending where the amputation's been and how good their hip is to clamp for your brakes, so you don't fly over the handlebars. But that has always been an issue for me. I've never been able to do it. So so this is basically for people what just had the amputations. The difference between below knee and above knee. Below knee, you can still use your foot to shift. Above knee, you won't be able to. Above knee, if you can still ride two wheels, I'll get a seatbelt put on your bike, basically. If you've got everything now on your hands to control the bike, the shifting. So, but I would put a belt on, because trying to clamp that tank when you have to brake is awkward. For me now, hence I went over it, just over a year and a half ago now, I went over the handlebars and the bike went over me. That would have been such an issue if I'd had the seatbelt on, put onto the bike, which I was going to. I was actually going to get it done that week. But that's one of the things of having the false leg in certain situations. So after I had the amputation, when I was 20, I could bend it and I could fit on the back of the bikes quite easily. I could get, first time ever, I could get my feet onto the pegs. But the same situation, I still had no feeling in my feet, my foot, so I wouldn't always know it was on the pegs, and it could be flapping about again. But this way, in a more dangerous situation, because it was bendy and it would clang everywhere. So when I got to ride for the first time by myself, would have been 4 years this year I would have been riding, but not last year now, but the year before, when I had the accident and rid off the bike. So trying to put my feet where it wouldn't do. So on my quad there was feet plates on it, but my feet would come off, so I'd have to put them back in like racing bike style positioning, because on the back of the bike where the pavilion, because it was a two-seater, where the pavilion bits was, it was like a spiky bit, so I could get my foot in there and ram it in there and lock it into position. So that's how I used to ride then. But if I would have never had the amputation, I wouldn't have had the ability even on that to ride. So I used to try and ride quad bikes when I was 14, 15, the farm ones. Before they was even allowed to be on the road, they was always on the farms and you could have fun with them there. So that's how I learnt to ride them, and that's where I went for when I got that bike, when I decided I'm going for it, before I get too old, I went for them ones. So, but going back to you guys, what it'd be like for you is that difference whether you can do your gear changes, from doing your gear changes to not being able to do it, and not being able to clamp properly when you brake. That is the dangers or the inconvenience of a false leg. And I suppose it'd be the same if you had a false arm, because people ride with literally only one arm on. There's that inconvenience where you have to have everything on one hand, the brakes, the clutch, the accelerator, all on one hand. So it's the inconvenience. You may have to transfer everything from whatever side is on down to the other side and get maybe your foot to do the work of two rather than one, just hover over the brake plus the shift, or get it put on the handlebars. So yeah, the joys of a false leg, basically. They tend to come off at the wrong time. On the quad twice, when I was using the plate, when I was only getting used to it, it went onto the front wheel and drilled all the way through the bottom of my shoe. And because I've got no feeling, because it's false, I drilled through the bottom of my foot, false foot as well, which believe me, I wasn't the most popular person at the limb centre when I got there with that one. So just a few things if you got a false leg, like putting any sort of gear on as well. If you've got your wet weather gear and you're trying to put it on with a false leg, what's above knee, because it flops, it won't get in, and it's just as annoying as hell trying to get everything over your foot what's tight with a boot on to get your wet weather gear on for a ride. It's nigh on impossible. I said if it's below knee you're okay, but above knee it's nigh on impossible. So they are the few things what's annoying when riding with a false leg. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you for watching. Go for the good stuff now. Hit the like and subscribe. Give me a thumbs up if you like it. If you don't, thumbs down. It don't matter. It all helps the video. So just as long as you interact with me. So leave comments below. I will always answer. It may not be straight away, but I will always answer. So thank you for watching. Ride safe. Peace.